Hello and welcome to this G2 Universe and Origins Autobot Jazz review and comparison. So starting off in robot mode, here we have Origins Jazz and G2 Jazz. Firstly, I'm going to start off with their accessories. Origins Jazz comes with this black gun. It's very similar to G2 Jazz's gun, or the Studio Series gun, but it's slightly different. It only has the 5mm peg on one side. The other side has this little nub. Doesn't do anything. And it looks really similar, but it is quite different. Cool thing about G2 Jazz's gun is that originally for the Studio Series one, it was made out of white plastic, I believe, and the handle wasn't painted like this one is. The handle wasn't painted, same as this one, but these ports on the side weren't either, which makes this gun look a lot better, I would think, than the Studio Series one. Can't get the camera to focus. That is my bad. Yeah, there we go. So, slightly different molding, but they painted the whole gun this time. Whereas this one's just all black plastic with only one 5mm peg instead of two. I think I do like this gun more though. G2 Jazz, or Origins Jazz, also comes with this little grappling hook setup. It's two pieces. Whoops. It's two pieces, like the little reel and then the hook. Yeah, so this just plugs into his arm. There we go. Just plugs into his arm like that. It's super cool. So that's all of Origins Jazz's accessories. G2 Jazz also comes with this little rocket launcher and pistol setup that can combine. This is just the way I keep it, because it plugs in like this in the car mode and gives him a cool rocket launcher on the side. But it just comes with these two guns. The nose cone / rocket can come off of this one, and you can plug these two together, give them a kind of shotgun style weapon. Yeah, they're both just done in the same orange plastic as its shins and crotch plate. I just prefer to keep the nose cone on it and keep this little gun separate, or plugged in like this, because you can plug this on the car mode and give them a cool rocket on the side. Yeah, so that's it for the accessories. Moving on to the figures. Firstly, the clear plastic. It's important because these both have clear plastic on the roofs, and you have to flex it a little bit for transformation. But I think the issue is worse on this one, just because of how tight everything is on this figure and how secure the tabs are. Getting these in and out, getting them in is not that bad. You just squish the whole figure together. But getting them out, it's kind of hard. A lot of pulling and kind of scary. And then these tabs are very secure in these slots. Yeah, so kind of sketch with the clear plastic, but I haven't had any issues with it. This is just painted white, and I think this guy pulls off the clear plastic painted better. Can kind of tell that they're different colors, slightly different shades. It doesn't look as different in person, but some areas he kind of looks a little translucent. But I think the red, because it's much brighter color than the white, makes up for that, and looks a lot better, or at least more color matched. Here we have some of the deco from the car mode. It's had that. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. So you don't actually get any of the deco from the car mode besides the gradient and the heels, which are the wing, the spoiler. Which I'm kind of sad about because I like the deco from the car mode a lot, but I feel like he's too orange. And this guy looks really nice, even though I've heard people say that the chest is too small. I still really like it. I think the colors are great. They both have painted shins and painted feet. This is cast gray plastic. This is painted gray. So the color matching is pretty good. And then both of these are just painted. I wish they would have cast gray or silver the plastic for this feet, because it's kind of weird that the paint only goes on the front, especially right here in the hinge and all that. But it's still very nice. As far as mobility goes, Origins Jazz is more mobile than G2 Jazz. Just because of the way the shoulders work, you do get a little bit more mobility in the shoulders, but it's kind of loose. So yeah, a little bit more mobility, but not as tight as this figure. This will hold any pose, but it is a little difficult trying to get him into poses. Not difficult, but like it's very stiff. All the joints on this figure are very stiff, whereas all the joints on this figure are average or a little loose, like the shoulders, which don't stay up just because of how the wheel turns. It's on a pin right there, because they rotate out for the robot mode. Yeah. So the shoulders pulled to 90, a little bit more than 90 at the elbow, or no, 90 at the elbow. The way the crotch plate works is that it's the way the crotch is made and the hips are put in. They get blocked by the plate, so he gets less than 90 going out front, less than 90 going back, and then less than 90 going out to the side. So about like 75, and then 60 out to the side. Whereas this guy gets full 90 out if you move the backpack out of the way. Do full splits. You can go all the way forward, because that whole hip assembly makes up the front of his legs too. It's not impeded by the little side skirts that don't move. So full back, full 90 back, full 90 forward, full 90 out to the side, and 90 at the elbow. These are very similar molds, if not the same. Oh, they're not the same, but they're like slightly redone shoulders and arms. So if you just include the shoulder without the wheel, they do have the same mobility. They even have the same moldings on the shoulders, which is cool. And the arms, just different bits because of how the transformation works. And this guy has the port, whereas this guy doesn't have a port on the shoulder. The back of the legs, I like the back of his legs more. They tab in securely. There's no, like, his knees aren't going to pop off. Whereas this guy, his knees popped off already, because it's just this little tab, just like on the Studio Series one, plugging into that little slot. That's all that holds it in. So pretty hollow from the back. You just have the spoiler with a little bit of the deco there. And as I said, the feet aren't painted all the way around. The hinges are pretty stiff on this figure for the ankle tilts, but they're way more stiff on this figure for the ankle tilts. Yeah. And I do like his big chunky feet. I like the backpack doesn't bother me, and the big chunky feet don't either. But I feel like this is too little in the back for me. Yeah, the backpack way smaller on the Studio Series G2 Sideswipe than the Origins one, but I don't know. both don't look bad. I've heard people complain about this one more, but I think it looks fine. Yeah. As far as the heads go, they are the same mold. They're both the Studio Series Jazz head. This one has the blue visor, this one has orange, and the face is painted yellow. This one's black with the face painted gray and the blue on the visor. I think this one's just orange painted yellow for the face. And I think a different orange for the visor. It's hard to tell. He does have the G2 Autobot logo, whereas this Jazz just has your regular Autobot logo. His chest is made out of that red plastic, and it's painted orange. That gradient is painted on there, and the black for the grill is painted on there, and the lights are painted on there. Whereas this chest plate is clear blue plastic that's painted white, but the lights aren't painted in. Those are that's just the clear blue plastic, but everything else is painted on. Which is funny because they didn't paint his chest grill, but on the vehicle mode it's gray. Yeah. Whereas this one is the real chest for the car, so it's painted exactly like this. Quick note before I put them both in vehicle mode, this one's way more fun to transform. This one's a pain. I would rather play with this one than this one. To transforming it, I'd probably leave this one in one mode or the other, because it's very hard. And then because he doesn't have wheels or anything, you're just sitting him on the forearm. They're not painted, but you can scuff it up because it just sits on the forearms. So I have this little pack of Velcro patches that I just sit him on in vehicle mode. Yeah. This guy sits nicely on the wheels and nothing rubs on the bottom, so it's all good. But yeah, that's a quick note for the transformations. Everything on this guy's super tough, especially like the legs. Let's see if I can even do this. I'm gonna bring his heel down and then just pull back on that. Tap it right there. There we go. So this slot right here goes into this tab, and just the way the whole heel is, it's very secure. There's another slot and tab right there. Yeah, it holds really securely. Doesn't want to come off when you want to do it. Yeah. So I'm gonna go into transformation and see them back in car mode. And here we have both of them in their car modes, oh, well, almost in their car modes. I wanted to show off this last bit transformation and why it's so difficult. It's putting in and taking him out of this mode. But firstly, this G2 Jazz, some difficulties with transformation are plugging this back window in, and doors, because the hands slot in right here. Some slots on the door windows, and there's some little tabs on his forearms, and getting everything lined up, because there's also another tab right underneath this door panel in front of this little wheel arch thing that I had mistransformed in robot mode. I had left it like this. You're supposed to turn it forward. Doesn't make that big of a difference, but yeah, there's a little tab right here, and you're supposed to slot the door into that tab and into this one. Lining those up is kind of hard. This double panel, this window panel in the back tabs in right there. You can see the two tabs through the glass. Yeah, that's about it though. These wheels are rotate around. It's pretty cool. Yeah, really nice alt mode. Super nice. Yeah, but first let's get back to this transformation. Yeah, this is the little Velcro thing, because otherwise you just have him on this whole bit, so it doesn't scuff up on the table. But yeah, so the way this transformation works is that you have to have these two hook tabs on the back go under here, under these panels, which made up of the legs. The hands have the little grooves on the other side, the slots for some tabs on the top of the shins. They have these slots right here on the sides. This came undone. But yeah, so it has that slot. Needs to go in that tab right there. So you need to get that in. They're both out. You get that in. This top assembly is going to come down, and the same plug that that the chest uses goes into a slot right here on the front. To get these doors in, and as you can see already, it's not lining up. It's very crooked. It doesn't get better from here. So these two slots in front of this go in those little, these tabs go in that little groove. So first you need to get this bit over this little plastic piece. It's the tiniest amount you need to get it back, but it refuses to go. And because it's clear plastic, it doesn't flex as much, but when you flex it, it's scary because it might snap on you. It might break. So you need to just wiggle that over the back. Keep these doors in place because they don't like staying in place. Make sure the hands are still tabbed into the feet because they like to untab from the feet. So, yeah. And then these doors are right up on this because it doesn't want to go to there. So then you got to get these in here. So you just got to compress the whole thing until it goes in. See how the doors popped off? The hands popped off. Nothing wants to go in. So get that door back in there. Get this door back in there. Get these tabs for the hands in there. Put them in there. And then squeeze the whole thing together. There you go. So, and that's the car mode. Nothing wants to go in. So get that in there again. Let's squeeze it all together. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. This kind of sticks up a little bit, but that's fine. So now you got all this tabbed in together. There you have Origins Jazz's vehicle mode. Super nice vehicle mode. I like it. Cool little car, space car, giant spoiler. Yeah, it's really cool. Out of the two modes, I don't know which I like better because I love this car mode. This car mode looks so good. I don't like the Studio Series one as much, but he just looks so nice as an orange Porsche with the decals on the side and that spoiler deco. So nice. But the robot mode, not my favorite. This guy, both of his modes, great. The in-between, not so great. In-between for this guy. Transformation is pretty fun, pretty cool. Yeah. So, they both have really nice alt modes. Sadly, this isn't picked out in silver paint like the rest of it, so it kind of stands out a little bit. But it still looks super cool. Back of both the cars, it's just the feet. And him, the feet fold up into the heel. So that's how you get that. Whereas on this guy, the feet just folds flat, like pointing down. So like these are the feet in robot mode, and you just flip that up. That's the bumper. Yeah, not as clean as a bumper, but still looks really cool. As far as weapon storage goes, on this Jazz, you can take his little hook rifle thing, his hook grappling hook thing, and that slot in his chest that's covered up by this chest piece in robot mode. Just to line it up. Oh, the other way. Oh shoot! So you just plug that in like that, nice and easy, and then the gun just plugs in on the top. Pretty cool. The weapon storage is nice. The gun on top looks like all the other cars with guns on top. You know, it works. Weapon storage for this guy, same thing. Gun just goes on top. There's not really anywhere to store this per se that they show like on the box anyway, but you can flip one of his feet down and rotate this like this, tap it in, and kind of set it up like that. It doesn't go all the way up, but it looks close enough, I'd say. And you just have this cool little rocket on the side of the car, which I think looks really cool. Personally, I'd probably take the gun off and just leave it like that. But, yeah. So that's the weapon storage on both of these. Pretty nice. I'd say the part where you plug in the gun looks better on this one than this one. But both of them have great alt modes. Yeah. That's about it. Here we have the, we can see the gray front vent on the bumper, whereas it's not painted. The grill isn't painted on the faux chest. Yeah, nice big Autobot symbol there. We got the same G2 Autobot symbol there, and of course, because the chest is the front of the car, same paint. The gradient, still the same. Very nice. The gradient is only on this front section. It kind of falls off here because the wheels should also be a little bit orange, but they're not painted, so kind of falls off there. Still looks really nice though. Yeah, and there's like splash of orange here and there from the limbs in the robot mode, like right here. And if you add the gun in the back, it gives it a little bit more of that orange, which I think pulls the whole vehicle mode together better. This has just the same blue and white everywhere from the robot mode. All the gray is mostly hidden underneath the car, except for the front of the feet on the back. Yeah. That's another thing too. This is pretty much some of the only silver on the car. So if you don't have the gun and this attached on there, it's just a weird spot with like only silver on this and the tires and the tires on the wheels. Yeah. So that's gonna be it for my review. Personally, I like both of these modes more than I like the Autobot mode, the robot mode on this one. But this is a much harder, not hard transformation, just more stressful transformation. This one's really fun. The robot mode isn't bad. I just prefer the other robot mode. Yeah. Take a quick look at the box. Has the same radioactive Autobot symbol as on the side swipe box. The Jazz here with his two guns, not wielding his other regular gun. Here we have it in the car mode. As you can see, it doesn't have this kind of gun emplacement. I just saw it and thought it was a good idea. And then in the front, we have the cool art with his main silver gun on top. Looks very nice. That nice G2 symbol, and the gradient goes pretty good on this. That looks really nice on this. And here we have him in Autobot mode, in robot mode, and yeah, that has that silver there, matches pretty good with the figure. The face is more similar in color to the visor on the painting, on the drawing, but yeah, very nice. Wish they would have done the face in silver, like the feet, just tie the whole figure together more. But, yeah. So the box looks really cool. The figure looks great. yeah, if you can find them at your local Walmart, you should pick them up because it's sold out on Hasbro Pulse. But yeah, pretty nice. My review of both of these figures, and have a good day.